we are trying to gather information from the generation that went through the transition of liturgy in the Syro-Malabar Church from Syriac to the vernacular, which is Malayalam. So it is wonderful that we have a chance today to speak to a person who has lived through that phase. Cherian, tell us the extent of Syriac literacy during your seminary days.
Hi, Palackal, I'm really proud of sharing some of my wonderful experience with the Syriac language. I joined the seminary in June 6th of 1962, and the first Malayalam Mass was offered in Mandanam Church on the 3rd of July 1962. At first time when we participate in the Mass, actually it was said by the prayer Father Colombier, who had been the editor of DBA for a long time. We felt that we didn't have such a devotional feeling of devotion as we had in Syriac language, because we considered it something to be secret and something awesome and great.
Mysterious.
Now we could understand everything, and we thought that the kind of awesome feeling, or the feeling that it was at the time of participating in the Syriac Mass, we were always with folded hands like this and with all devotion. Now we could read everything, we can understand everything. So we felt that it is something less than a Syriac Mass, the Malayalam Mass.
That's interesting. What kind of training in the Syriac language did you have during your seminary days at Mandanam?
Actually, we had to learn two languages, Latin and Syriac, and every day we had 1 hour of Syriac language study and 2 hours of Latin studies. And actually, we really enjoyed learning a new language. The scripts, the letters are different shape, and actually, personally for me, I love to learn this new language and new script like that.
Did you learn enough to read and write?
Well, at the end of the year, I could really learn to read. Of course, reading, understanding a little more difficult, because I could read because I know the script, so I could read it. And we used to write very in a drawing manner, in a beautiful way, the letters, the Syriac language letters, and we had examinations in Syriac language. And actually, personally, I enjoyed learning this new language which Jesus spoke years before, the Aramaic, the East Syriac language. Actually, though the Malayalam Mass started, the consecration words were in Syriac in those days. I remember Avdin and Mardugarada, the Messiga, Aura, those things. So we felt that we had to learn Syriac language if you want to celebrate Mass in our liturgy. Of course, later on that part also was translated, and so we considered it a very sacred language, because from July 3rd to 1962 onwards, the Malayalam Mass started, but still the consecration words were in Syriac, Aramaic.
So you had to know.
I had to know.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Very nice. Now, when you were a young boy, did the senior priests in those days converse in Syriac at any point in time? Do you have any recollection of that?
Because we had there 2 or 3 very fathers, the senior fathers, who knew Syriac very well. And some days when we talk with them, they sing in Syriac language, but we didn't talk in Syriac language.
Did they talk among themselves in Syriac?
No, I haven't heard them talking in Syriac, but sometimes when we talk, they use some certain words, Syriac words like that.
Oh, they would quote a Bible passage.
Some words like that, some words in Syriac like that.
Okay. Now, I'm glad you were at Mandanam at that time. When the liturgy was translated into the vernacular, what was the general sentiments of the public? You mentioned your sentiments, that you felt that the sacredness was somehow diminished. But what was the general sense among the people and the clergy about that transition from Syriac to Malayalam?
Actually, I think that the people also felt the same way as I felt, because now they thought it was something awe-inspiring, something great, something secret, something is going on. Now they could read and understand everything. So they thought that sacredness is little diminished or faded, and so they felt in the beginning the Malayalam was there. Really, the Malayalam was not making them really devotional and touching as they used to have in Syriac language. And the clergy's part, I heard some priests were also talking like that, because always the transition is painful for everyone.
Yes, yes. Can I ask a personal question? Now, so many years have passed. How do you feel now about the transition from, you have seen the world, you celebrate Mass in the Latin Rite, you have grown so much, you got educated so much, and how do you feel now looking back at the decision that the Syro-Malabar Church made before Vatican II? Before it happened in the Latin Church, Syro-Malabar Church made the decision to move from Syriac to Malayalam. So how do you feel now?
Now I feel that it was really in the providence of God it happened like that. Because now we can really understand what we are praying, and then we can put our heart and mind, we can put our attention to what we are praying like that. Before that we could not really feel, because usually during the Mass time the people were reciting Rosary in those days, except the consecration time. And so to bring the attention and concentration like that, now if we put our heart and mind to what we are reciting, each word, understanding each word, that really made us more devoted, more understanding and more devotional to the sacred liturgy of the Syro-Malabar Rite.
Okay, from a linguistic point of view, do you feel sad that this language is slowly dying out of the experience of the Syro-Malabar Christians in Kerala?
I'm really sad to hear such news like that, because since I am not used to learn or understand about this language much, as you told me like that, I am really sad to understand like that. But I want the Syriac language to be alive as a language for studying the old documents. And after all, the greatest thing is, it is a language of our Lord Jesus Christ, the Aramaic language. And a couple of years before, when I went for the movie Passion of Christ, I was very proud with my people. I could understand some of the words there, what they said, because they used the old language.
Yes.
I was because I went with some of the parishioners, about 10 or 11 of my parish people. I told them I could understand some of the words.
Kepa, Yohanan,
Yes,
and all that.
yes, Kepa.
Yeah, that is wonderful.
Yeah.
Do you recall some of the melodies, some of the texts offhand?
I really enjoyed them in the solemn Mass after I not recollecting, but Kandisa Alaha, Kandisa Aisana, Kandisa Lamayo. I forgot, but I really these songs we used to recite when I was a small boy also. We could hear from the church, and we used to say, come to the house and say someday like Mass, and we recite this one. Kandisa.
Yeah. So what do you think the Syro-Malabar Church should do to preserve that tradition, that language, in some way or other? What are your suggestions?
I think that for the seminarians, when they come, at least they should learn this language. Don't consider it as a language which is of no use, but we have a lot of documents, the old documents in Syriac language, Aramaic language. We have to learn it. If the priests who really dedicate their lives for Jesus Christ, they have to learn this language and explore and find out the books and get the spirit of the Jesus Christ and his apostles, which is written exactly in the old Aramaic language. We have to learn it. That's what I think. For that, the students, when they come to the seminary from the earlier age onwards, they are to be taught in this language, not simply as an unimportant subject, but very important subject, because it is a tradition. It is the inheritance, the wealth of the Syro-Malabar Church, the Syriac language, Aramaic language, East Syriac language for the Syro-Malabar Church, the best Syriac for the Malankara Church.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Cherian, for your passionate invocation to start learning, reintroducing the language to the seminarians, and that is wonderful. Please pray for the success of the Aramaic project, and thank you for your time.
I really wish and pray for the grand success of your very beautiful and wonderful project, and may God bless you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.